Welcome back to some more viewer-submitted games. What I've got for you today are 3 games of StarCraft 2, where we find ourselves in the first one on the map Grezven. Now, spotting here in the top left-hand corner, playing with the blue Zerg drones, we're looking inside of the main base of Nectar. His opponent in the opposite corner with the red Terran SCVs, and likewise also in Platinum League, he goes by the name of Westcirker. Westcirker, kind of like Berserker, but then West. Okay, I thought this was going to be a hatchery first. Oh, it's a triple extractor trick. Because of course it's a triple extractor trick. Oftentimes I feel like a lot of you end up watching the viewer-submitted games that I've casted in the past, and then you feel inspired by it, and you try to build upon the strategies that you've recently seen others play. So Nectar apparently has been watching some of maybe the Era games. I mean, Sarah has been doing a bunch of extractor tricks lately as well. Nectar apparently decides to make it worse by, well, doing a triple extractor trick and now running 2 drones towards the other side of the map. I thought maybe we were gonna go for an expansion at home, but none of that is happening. What in the world are we gonna do with these workers? Ah, of course, naturally, yes. Now, yeah. It's a double proxy hatchery on the side of the Terran. When these structures are done, there's a very good chance that this is actually a full wall. I can't quite oh, there's no way. Okay, he wants to go barracks into command center. I can't quite figure out if this is smart or really dumb. Okay, he does see it right now, and he does not start up the command center. I think that's very important here. He probably wants to just, well, power out a lot of production here. Maybe he can go for a CC in the main base. He decides to spend his resources after typing what? I mean, he's still not spending any of his resources. He's probably thinking right now, man, the worst thing that a StarCraft 2 player can ever do is think. You never want to be thinking while you're in a game, guys. And these are the type of games, the type of strategies that you do have to use your brain for. StarCraft 2 players not particularly well known for using their brain. Okay, so is this a full wall-off? I would like the Terran player here to check. There's another hatchery, by the way, here at the 9 o'clock position. This one's awful. I have no idea. I have no idea what the point of that one is. The problem is, right? Yeah, I do think it's a full wall-off. He's trying to send the Reaper across the map. The problem is, you're committed to an all-in. I mean, there's no way you can do a little bit of aggression. Okay, we're rushing out 2 queens here on the other side of the map. Fair enough. I've got a feeling that this hatchery over here is going to be a complete waste because it's not going to achieve anything. Reaper is going to be able to get into the opponent's main base here, and there's nothing to defend. Nectar going into a gas as well. He's trying to play a macro game off of this. I really don't think that's what you should be doing. Reaper over here, yeah, very, very helpful. There's nothing to defend against this. We're going to have to pull the boys. Zerglings, though, are about to spawn on the other side of the map, and they're gonna go after Jimmy right away. Reaper, keep it alive, keep it alive. He's got it selected. Okay, well, he had the Reaper selected, but he decided not to micro it. Maybe he decided to move his camera back home. Either way, the queens are now available, but Zerg has no money. So, he's lost 1 drone. He's still not sent the workers back. Nectar, come on, buddy. Yeah, that proxy hatch on the left side of the map here is horrible. I actually don't really mind this necessarily, though, because this is actually surprisingly strong. Queens right now, together with Zerglings, knocking on the front door. It's just that this... Yeah, no queen in the main base, no Zerglings in the main base to defend against the Reaper, and then the proxy hatchery. It just cost him a little bit too much. Like, he's now even making drones. He's like half committed to an all-in, which is one of the most aggressive all-ins I have ever seen. Like, he even made a drone over here on the left side of the map. There's no way that this is gonna just straight up win the game if you don't commit to it fully. I don't believe it. Nice control right here by Westcirker, though, all things considered. Even though he did end up losing the Reaper, he did have, well, the thought here to go for the bunker, and that bunker is very helpful. Just adding on a lot of additional production here. Eventually, he's gonna be able to get double mule production as well, and double mule production alone is going to be basically the same amount of total economy here that Nectar has available. I wouldn't have minded it if he decided to go for a gas and like a Roach Warren or something like that, you know, like fully commit. Instead, we're now turning this into a very cursed-looking Spinecrawler rush, which I did see as well in previous viewer-submitted games, and it somewhat worked, but not like this. Terran's not going to slow down on the Marine production. Oh my god. At least they should not be slowing down right here on the Marine production, and as long as he's on point, nice movement right here by Westcirker. Yeah, it's gonna be very difficult for the Zerg player to get much done. I really do think, though, I didn't quite realize that you could create a full wall of over here with 2 hatcheries. I do think that this actually had a lot of potential. The execution here is just, well, questionable, to say the least. Siege tank coming up as well. Love that. You want to probably siege it up right about over here. Don't want to move it too far forward because you don't really know exactly what's going to be coming on the back of this. Could definitely be Zerglings or anything along those lines. Yeah, the Queens and the Zerglings here on a drone are just chilling off and just looking off into the sunset, I guess. Just chilling off to the side, but... Alright, in the meantime, we do have the hatchery here, at least with a decent amount of workers, and we've got another hatchery here coming up as well in the natural expansion. In the meantime, that second command center from West Circular has decided to fly all the way towards the left, and he's gone for an expansion that the Zerg currently has not seen. This is a little bit annoying, though, for the Zerg player, because if he... Oh, okay. I was gonna say, if he... Well, maybe he noticed it right here with the Overlord. That would have been real nice if he did see that, because he needs to get something done here to try and prevent that Terran economy. Honestly, though, he may just not have the stuff here to deal with all of this. Like, he's going into double Spinecrawler right now. 4 Spinecrawlers at home, but obviously they're split up. Some of them are at the 9 o'clock position, some of them are in the main. I think Nectar actually had some cool ideas here. But I just do not see how this is ever going to work out if he does not fully commit to it, you know? He decided to go for an all-in, but it turns out his all-in was, well, half committed, which makes no sense. So, West Circular hasn't quite seen that third base yet, but the thing is, it doesn't really matter so much here. If he can just go for the throat, if he can just go into the main base, I do believe that he is gonna still be in a fantastic position. Brave move out, by the way, from West Circular, because he doesn't have, well, any medevacs or any sort of stimp back here, no combat shields, nothing. I think he can probably just commit to the high ground if he wants to, especially if the reinforcements decide to show up, although apparently some of them get all army hotkeyed. Look at that. Anyways, singing My Heart Will Go On as he... Is that the My Heart? I think it is. Anyways, as he floats towards the surface of Gressfoot, apparently. Didn't realize this was an underwater map. Anyways, Superhero Jimmy. Eventually, Zerglings do show up. Now, West Circular probably is thinking at this point, where in the world did those Zerglings come from? I hope so, at the very least, because he hasn't quite seen the base here at the 9 o'clock position. Roachwarren coming up as well here for the Zerg player, who's still spreading creep around the natural expansion of the Terran. But the Terran does have another base up and running here, and that is going to be real nice. Some proper Platinum League micro and macro over here as he decides to queue up as many SCVs as he possibly can. But as long as he just sticks to Marines, Siege Tanks, and Medevacs, I don't think he can really go wrong. Yeah, just queue up the Combat Shield research as well, maybe go for some Engineering base, and we'll probably be okay. Alright, now, this is not something we see all too often. Roach speed before link speed. Nectar actually trying to wiggle his way out of this. I don't think he should have ever been allowed to this position, but West Circular didn't quite realize that there was another base mining, and I still don't think he realizes it. No, I don't think he quite realizes yet that there are more bases out there on the map. Okay, now, Nectar has seen this expansion over here. He's got vision of it at the very least right now. And it's completely exposed, so if those Zerglings running over there right now, they could absolutely destroy this mineral line. But for some reason, he is very focused on harassing the opponent's main base. 9 roaches are coming up right now for Nectar. We have a third command center building as well. We have quite a bit of siege tank production, but really not that many upgrades here for Terran overall. My god, if he actually decided to go down here, I've got a feeling he could get... Come on, man, you can literally see the SCV transfer. I think he could get a lot of work done. Look, he's scouting the front. You have vision of this. You literally see the SCVs. Oh, no. Ah, finally he noticed. I don't think he noticed it. He probably just did not notice it on the minimap. Now he's going to go in. And this should be really nice right now for the Zerg player, because this is going to hurt the Terran, yeah. Terran already doesn't have that fantastic of an eco. Yeah, he's got multiple orbital comments and all that. But that was a good hit right there. Okay, so West Circular is once again ready to go for an attack. I think. He probably should. A Raven would also not be misplaced, by the way, so we can actually just get rid of all of this creep here. You can scan, but I never really see that go particularly well at this skill level. Okay. Nectar, trying to go back into the main base, I think. He does find a siege tank over here. There's quite a few tanks available, but not so many that West Circular can just start giving them away. Okay. Burrow starts up for the Zerg player. He wanted to go, I think, for a planetary fortress here, but I don't think that's going to happen, as West Zerker's actually going across the map. He's donating quite a few of his units, though, that pop out of those production structures in the main base, as he's gonna go for a full-on counterattack. Oh no, is this gonna end with a base race? Last time I checked, though, Terran structures can fly, whereas the Zerg structures just sort of don't. Roaches in the main base, though, going after all of those SCVs. Planetary Fortress would still be fantastic at this point, because there's really not that much Zerg available. Zerg, however, does have Burrow coming, and that can be actually quite difficult for the Terran player to deal with. One siege tank sieged up in the main base, surrounded with SCVs. Okay. West Zerker decides to go towards the right. Mate, you've not seen where the units are coming from, but moving everything in one big ball does not seem like the best approach. Either way, now the Roaches decide to commit. This is actually a really nice move right here by West Zerker. Okay, the siege tank will eventually fall, I would imagine. There's a secondary one that immediately rolled out of the factory, but it gets killed as well. Units in the meantime, though, going into the main base. Nectar does have a decent amount of roaches, and those spine crawlers are helping out as well. Siege tank from the low ground trying to get some work done. We still have a lot of tanks. Now he must have noticed the angle at which those reinforcing Zerg units were coming from. Tunneling Claws, do we have it? Yeah, we do have it. So Burrow and Tunneling Claws is done. That means that these roaches can regenerate very quickly underground if he decides to micro it. That's the big key though, right? If he decides to micro it, he could theoretically get a lot of value out of this. Nectar still with a very significant advantage right now. I don't think he should have ever been allowed in this position, man. The fact that he made that 9 o'clock base after going for a complete all-in with double proxy hatch, somehow, some way it still worked out. Orbital command over here is probably not quite ideal, especially if you don't lift it up, which is really the only advantage of going for the orbital. We can burrow these units and move them a little closer, or we can just walk them. There you go. Oh, there's another siege tank a little further back. Okay. That siege tank ended up killing its buddy there. I think in the end, Nectar is probably going to win this game. What an absolute mess. Main command center is also gone. This orbital command still around. And I think these are the last units, right? Yeah, we have still got 16 Marines, but all of the siege tanks at this point are gone. 1 medevac, 16 Marines in a dream. Zerg's at 9 roaches, 26 Zerglings, going Overlord speed. Not exactly sure what the point of Overlord speed is, but probably just a misclick, because this is a rather hectic game. Another hatchery coming up. Nectar apparently wants to mine every base except his own natural. I mean, he tried, to be fair, but Marines right now are running for their lives, but there's no supply depots over here, so nothing really to help protect them. Combat Shields finally finishes up right now, but I've got a feeling that that one is a little too late. The lifeline of our Terran is right over here at the 6 o'clock position, and it's Nectar who obtains the victory. Oh, yikes. Okay, so our next game is between 2 players that are right around my MMR. I'm not familiar with their nicknames, but there's a good chance that I have played them in the past. So the map is Babylon. Both of these players are currently in Grandmaster League, and spotting right here in the top left-hand corner, playing with the red Protoss probes, we're looking inside of the main base of Savi. And the opponent in the opposite corner with the blue Terran SCVs, he goes by the name of Kamikaze. Kamikaze? How do you pronounce that in English? I actually don't know. So this is the Dutch pronunciation?
Kamikaze.
There you go. And this is the English one.
Kamikaze.
Kamikaze? Alright, fair enough. Anyways, this particular game, I am very interested in. Most of the viewer-submitted replays that I get are people between like Silver and Platinum League. A couple of Diamond League games in there as well, the occasional Bronze or Master League match. But a Grandmaster League game is certainly a little bit different. Okay, so he does not want to get this gas geyser stolen. SCV moves across the map, does not get spotted by the probe, it looks like. Okay. I think we'll keep the... We'll have to keep our eye out right here on the Terran player, because... Well, there's a couple of reasons as to why. First off, Terran is a lot more flexible in the early game than Protoss is, which is fair enough. Secondly, we've seen him go for double gas already. Third, there's now proxy barracks on the other side of the map. And fourth, Euthermal. Euthermal has been inspiring a lot of ladder heroes. I've been seeing some crazy build orders out of Terrans lately. Euthermal going for a lot of very spicy builds. Planetary Fortress rushes, Ghost rushes, very quick tactical nuke, mass cyclone. Just all the shenanigans in the world, and he seems to make it work against really good players. Now, both of these guys are currently in Grandmaster League, so I can imagine at the very least that they do know what they're doing, and their build orders should be pretty refined. Up to this point, everything's normal right here for Protoss. He has scouted on the other side of the map, didn't really see all too much, but... I mean, yeah, he saw the double gas timing and the fact that... Oh, that's a really quick engineering bay. I'm not sure what to make of the very quick engineering bay, to be honest. So we're pumping out double barracks with reactors, and then I guess Reapers with +1. Okay, so +1 attack Reapers. This is an upgrade that's gonna take a while to finish. And the problem is that by the time that Protoss, well, is fighting against those Reapers that are upgraded, they're gonna have a lot of good units out that are really good against those Reapers, right? Like, for example, flying units. Flying units would certainly not be misplaced. That being said, I thought for a second when I saw the engineering bay go down, like the first thing that flashed through my head was a planetary fortress rush. Just because I've been seeing those quite a bit in the viewers a minute games. Is that what we're looking at here, Kamikaze? Is this a double reactored barracks with +1 attack into planetary fortress rush? Is that what we're looking at here? I think that is what we are looking at here. Okay. Here's my main concern. It's still a while away. It's not going to be done yet. And for the time being, I've got a feeling that Savi is going to be able to deal a ton of damage. He did wall off the high ground, which is good. Yeah, he can sort of hurt that pylon a little bit, but I don't think that's really going to be that big of an issue. The Oracle here is going to be amazing. I think you should send that one straight across the map. Now, there is a missile turret coming up, because the requirement for a missile turret is an engineering base, so... It's a double proxy or a double barracks into a very quick +1, which allows both the planetary fortress, the +1 upgrade, as well as the missile turret. And I actually think that this is pretty well protected, yeah. That timing is actually really quite good. I think he started at about 3.5 minutes or so. Missile turret finishes up at the perfect time. Okay, it's a Phoenix on the back of this. I actually don't think he needs a Phoenix. A Void Ray would actually be really good here. Anyways, yeah, their Adepts are still pretty powerful. Good targeting right there by Savi, who now also finishes up the shield battery here, and that's going to make things much easier. How about the Command Center, though? Command Center at this point is done. Additional gateways in the main base. Ooh, he wants to land it right over there. Well, that's not going to fit because there's a pylon. Reapers are going to try and just deny this, right? So they're just trying to distract the Protoss player. +1 actually does make them quite a bit more powerful, but that shield battery is super nice. We're gonna have to move it up a little bit, Kamikaze. Come on. A little bit. A little bit. Ooh, Probe. Oh, Probe could get underneath and try to block it. Here's the planetary fortress coming up. I think what he should have done is load the SCV into the command center. Oh my god, look at this derpy movement over here. He should have loaded the SCV into the command center and then popped it out over here. So he can repair this and maybe even make like a bunker or something like that. The Reapers are actually just simply breaking into the main base though. They just shut down the gateway and that means that they can jump into the main if they want to. There's more and more Stalker production here, which is nice and all, but the Planetary Fortress, look at that. This is that classic Planetary Fortress skin. Not my personal favorite, but anyways. The guns are extended and this is going to hurt. With the cybernetics core going down, Protoss will no longer be able to make Stalkers, Sentries, Adepts. None of those units will be viable anymore, and he's now created a little path for the Reapers to go around the back. Now, you can waste your energy here on the Phoenixes, sure. I don't mind it, but yeah, I think a Void Ray would have been real good. Planetary is right now target firing down the Stargate, and that is not going to happen. He decides to cancel it right there at the last possible moment as well. Dark Shrine coming up on the back of this, which I do quite like. I think a Dark Shrine is very viable here, but we really need a Cyber Core, man. We really need a Cybernetics Core so we can actually prevent those Reapers from just simply chasing you around. Zavi at this point with 1200 minerals. Kamikaze could certainly make a command center as well at home. We still have that Oracle on the other side of the map too. Got a feeling it would be very nice to have right over here inside of the main base. Does he realize that this is a Dark Shrine though? There's a good chance that he actually thinks of this as a... well, a pylon, and that could actually turn this game upside down. Just 2 Dark Templar here would be amazing. Okay, he does scoot forward right now. Oracle here getting a little bit of work done too. Come on, you should really target fire down the Dark Shrine here. Okay, there is that command center building on the low ground for Kamikaze, but that's not really going to happen. Okay, he does target down the Dark Shrine right now, so should not finish up. +1 Reapers? Pretty powerful, man. He probably could have started up the +2 upgrade too, or, well, maybe the +1 armor. That would be kind of nice. Charge at this point is done, which is nice and all, but it's not really going to achieve that much, because you can charge at the Planetary Fortress all you want. Now we start up a slow push, closer towards the Nexus. There's some energy available once again. He decides to target down the SCV. That's fair enough, but new SCVs are building, and they're really right on top of that structure. Cybernetics Core 2.0 is gonna go down as well if he's not careful. This is what I mean, man. I feel like a lot of Terran players lately have been inspired by you thermal strategies. Like, maybe these builds don't work at the absolute tippity top of the skill level, but they work pretty darn well when you're dealing with guys in Grandmaster League. So, for basically everybody out there, these build orders are, well, at least somewhat viable. Albeit a little bit crazy. He's now going for missile turrets inside of the opponent's main base too. Now, this is not necessarily a game that's won yet, though. Yeah, Kamikaze has done a lot of damage. Sure, he's destroyed a lot of his opponent's structures, yes. But he doesn't really have a big economy on the back of this. That command center is still not built on the low ground. Main base is gonna start running out pretty quickly. He's going for a factory right now inside of his opponent's main base. Double factory on the back of this, which is nice and all. That Nexus is certainly gonna go down, but I actually really like this move here from Protoss, already moving down south. Void Ray is gonna be nice, but it's a little bit late, although he has found an angle where apparently he should probably activate Prismatic Alignment, where he can actually hit the planetary itself. Yeah, and that's kind of nice. That being said, though, these Reapers, yeah, they're still dancing back and forth. Okay, can we activate Prismatic Alignment, please? Funny how we're not activating it at all right now. Unbuildable plate here, in a little bit of trouble. Don't think Protoss really cares that much about it. Now the economy, though, is starting to look a little bit shaky. Yeah, I do like the fact that he's target firing down all of those SCVs. Actually super annoying. Hello, hello, hello. Oh my god, come on, man. Ay, ay, ay. Now we finally activate the Prismatic Alignment. But one of the Void Rays did end up falling just now. I don't really like the way he's controlling those Void Rays at all. That micro is not quite as clean as we would like to see it. Additional Void Rays are coming up right now. Savi, though, has decided, okay, a scan right now reveals it as well for the Terran, that he is gonna start building from this location here instead. That is gonna be Cybernetics Core 3.0. Very nice. Alright, so what are we gonna use the factories for? I guess it's gonna be... No, 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 no. Come on! That hurts my feelings, I'm not gonna lie. Actually, he is breaking out of his own contain, though. That's nice. Yeah, that planetary is still around. Probably don't want to shade on top of that. Reapers, in the meantime, over here on the left side of the map. Trying to just harass wherever they can. Are we gonna go into... Okay, I think a siege tank over here would maybe be nice, but maybe difficult to pull off against the Void Rays and the Phoenixes. He's gonna go for Cyclones together with the Cyclone upgrade. 44 workers have gone down, only 29 probes remain, but that is still more than our Terran player has ever had. Main base of the Terran is running out. And I think Savi has decided, you know what, there's really not much I can do here anymore. He was doing a pretty good job defending, though. I really wonder what would have happened here if he decided to just micro those Void Rays a little bit better. Now, I know Protoss players aren't used to microing Void Rays, but moving them outside of the missile turret range would be really nice. Alright, one final game. I have no idea if this particular game is going to be any good because the replay duration is incredibly short, but I figured it would be fun because our previous game was in Grandmaster League and now we're all the way to the very bottom of the ladder as both of these players are unranked. Spotting right here in the top right-hand corner of Altitude, playing with the red Protoss probes, we're looking inside of the main base of Yelda. The opponent... I was just giggling over the supply block into the chrono boost. But anyways, his opponent in the opposite corner, sending out a bunch of SCVs already. We have none other than JSG. Alright. Now, if you have an amazing game of StarCraft 2 that you've recently played, you can submit it to replays at LowkoTV. Please only submit your very best games. I was having a look at that replays folder this morning, and I saw that like 3 people sent over literally all their replays. They're like, Lowko, look! Here's my 200 replays over the last 7 years. Enjoy! I was not gonna check those out. I'm sorry, I just straight up archived your email. Please, please, just, you know, submit your very best games. If you want, I mean, you can send whatever you like, but I'm only gonna check out the very best games. All right, so what exactly are we going for here? Fair enough. 4 barracks on the other side of the map. We've got ourselves a very cursed pylon positioning over here with a gateway into a fort. This looks like a defensive build, right? And I know it feels like a defensive build, but it really isn't. Because you end up slowing yourself down so much with this fort that it really isn't any good. Anyways, maybe against this particular opener here, though, from our Terran, it's not gonna be the end of the world. Gas Geyser here gets stolen, fair enough. Another gas is coming up at home as well. JSG, what in the world are we doing with the gas? It doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything for you. If you wanted to go for a Reaper all-in... Oh, okay. If you wanted to go for a Reaper all-in, I've got a feeling you should have already, well, had some more gas going for a little while. I think what we're doing instead, though, is flying the barracks inside of the opponent's main base, and then we're gonna just go ahead and, well, make a bunch of army from the inside of their main. Fair enough. Protoss hits a supply block at 23 out of 23. Random photon cannon over here at the front. Not a wall off whatsoever, not even close to a wall off either. Protoss is, however, gonna scout this now, on accident, because he hit a supply block and he decides, oh shit, I need to make a couple of those. So he does decide to make a few of those pylons. This is a very non-committal Gas Geyser, okay? Like this all-in, again, kind of like the same all-in, or, well, not the same all-in, but a similar all-in as we saw in game number 1 today with the double proxy hatchery on the other side of the map. That was like a half-committed all-in as well. Guys, I am noticing a theme in the games today. It turns out my viewers have commitment issues. It's okay, it's nothing to be ashamed of, okay? But I recommend when you go for an all-in, that you go all-in. I know, crazy concept. I know we've all been hurt before, okay? I know it may be hard to trust somebody again, to trust your own capabilities. Don't run your Marines into the photon cannon, that would be bad. I would not appreciate that. We have a little bit of stutter stepping going on here, though. Now, unless our Terran here does not kill those photon cannons. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, there's really no way that this isn't just going to be a straight-up win. There it is. JSG obtains the victory in our final game of today. Hey, real quick, if you enjoyed watching this video, please take the 1 second that it takes to hit the like button down below. It really does help. Thank you very much.